Hello and welcome to the TJ Games channel. I was wanting to get some Atari content out this weekend and I'm working on something, but unfortunately I haven't had the time to really complete it. So this here is actually a video that I was working on a couple of weeks ago and just never got around to finalising. Yeah, it's really good games, so I want to get some content out, so here we go. Really hope you enjoy it. If you do, please like the video, and it'd be great if you could subscribe to my channel, and then you'll see any further retro Atari content that I publish. Thank you very much, and yeah, enjoy. Hello there. Okay, so coming fresh from recording some other gaming, which will be on a different part of my channel. Thought I'd slow things down a bit and look at more retro gaming, Atari 800XL games that I remember from my childhood, and this time we're going to have a look at a title called Orc Attack. Sorry for the distortion there, real close and you don't see it, and just, yeah, sorry that's not coming out well at all, but you can see that I am actually playing with a real cartridge. I've been using the side-free cartridge for some of my other videos, but this just to prove that, yeah, not only are we using 100% real hardware, we're going to use an original cartridge that works as well. So, I mean, what's the date on the Thorn EMI Video Programs Limited, 1982, which is roughly the right time frame that we got this game, which I think was within the first batch of games that we actually got with the machine when my dad bought this back in the early 80s for our family. It's a funny little title called Orc Attack. But yeah, ultimate 1 megabyte BIOS there, but it should go straight to cartridge. Okay, here we go. So, now this game had a slightly weird control system. So you would move left and right on the joystick, but you couldn't go left and immediately go right like most sort of platformers tend to work. As you move left or right, you're actually increasing your speed of motion in that direction. So when you push back in the opposite direction, to begin with, you're just slowing that motion down. So it's kind of like you're running along the top of these battlements and you're running so fast that your legs just can't stop quickly enough, and you have to slow down before you can turn around and speed up in the other direction. So the fire button would, when you're not holding an object, would decrease your speed pretty instantly, because you would go into a sort of throw mode and stop yourself. So that was a sort of not a hack, but a quick way of slowing down if you wanted to. But when you go to the left or right of the screen, you can pick up an object, and at the moment they're rocks, and you could also pick up swords, and then you could also pick up burning oil, which tends to be towards the end of the level, or the end of any level, whether it's one of these orc levels or the later boss levels that you would get, which I won't spoil for the moment, assuming I'm actually going to be able to show you one of those boss levels. I recall 2 different types, but it's, for those who haven't seen this, I'll leave that as a surprise. So yeah, pressing the fire button to start, that's not working, so I think you have to press the start key for this one. We reach over to where the machine is. Here we go. Okay, so first of all, we move to left. As you can see, right, so it's I've got auto fire on this joystick, turning that off immediately, because you have to be able to hold the fire down to hold the object and then let go to drop it. Hold down, let go. If any of you were watching a previous video, which I will have not published yet, but I will be sharing before this, I would assume, I had auto fire turned on this joystick from playing Warhawk. Right, okay. So when they get to the top, you go to the side, and instead of the rocks, it switches to a sword, and you have to bat these guys down a little bit. So you're just holding the fire button down, and occasionally, I think if you push down while you're doing if you push down when you're doing it, you kind of put more power to it, but you can't do that regularly. Now, when they're at a turret, when they start to scrape at the top, they're not damaging you, but if you're out in the open like that, they do actually take some of your sub-lives down, I recall. Now, top right, you can see 1/5. I believe that means 1 full life and 5... Ow! And there you go. So from 5 down to 1, because when they're scraping at you, they could take that energy down, that second number, very, very quickly. So you don't really want to let that happen. That was not a good first level. Really what you want to do is use these rocks and keep these guys down for as long as possible. You don't want to be letting them get traction, and certainly not on 2, because then you're having to flip around between the 2 different ladders, and you just can't keep 2 ladders at bay at the same time. All the time they're firing these arrows up at you, and if one hits you, it does take energy off and it stuns you for a little while. So this is a good position to try and keep them to 1 ladder to stop them getting a foothold. Right, and then you get to a point where it gives you boiling oil. Now you can hold off sometimes and, you know, not fire the oil straight away. Let them come back to the top, go back to swords, and then you can knock them down a bit. So if you're playing for score, you can hold off that end of the level for a little bit longer, but you're dicing with death really, because letting them get to the top and battling them with the sword, you're more likely to lose your lives. And I can't for the life of me remember stunned, how you get lives back. So when you're stunned, you can't move very easily, but you can hold the fire button down and move gradually left and right and just get yourself safely behind a turret. You can't drop stones directly on a turret, you just hit the top like that and damage your own turret, so you have to move just off to the edge like that. Wrong side. So I think the ladders never line up completely with a turret. They're either offset just a tiny bit to the left or right, and it's quite hard to see. I think that's the case, that it only works on one side. Right, get that boiling oil down there. So once you've thrown it, it's inevitable they're done. You can knock them down from the top if you're frightened that they're going to do more damage while the oil is getting them. Because they do, you see, when they're scraping, they knock these turrets down. You see that one's damaged there, and that one's lost a bit there. And obviously if a turret goes down to nothing, you haven't got it to hide behind again. Kind of like Space Invaders in that respect, with your shields that you had at the bottom of the screen in that game. So you notice at the end of each level you get that pyramid which shows you how many orcs you've killed. And that's another thing, if you do keep it going for longer, if you hold off before using that oil, you can ultimately build a full pyramid of orcs. And I believe, I can't remember what the bonuses are, it goes kind of crazy if you get a full pyramid. It's either giving you massive score bonus, or it might even potentially give you additional lives. I'm not sure if I remember that. But I'm not... Right, we're going to keep going with this strategy of just getting them down straight away, because that's not good. They're at the top. Without, I'm not even going to go near him, because he's going to scrape straight at my 0.5. Now I think if you let them attack for too long, it's weird. Even if you're not in front of them, I seem to recall after a certain amount of time letting them do that, I don't know, clawing thing that they do, it starts to take your health down. Right, okay, this is one of the boss levels. So you got, I guess he's Gandalf the Grey there. No, he must be Saruman. Gandalf's good, isn't he? He's grey, not white. I'm confused. Okay, maybe he's just a generic grey wizard, and he's throwing these skulls up. And if the skulls get to the top, I think it's the same deal. They either damage your turrets, or if they get past the turret, it damages you. Oh, I was going to not get that one because it was lined up. You can actually do this as well. But we risk chance of letting a skull through. I think if you're really fast, you can do alternate shots, skull wizard, and if you kill the wizard outright, he stops sending skulls up, obviously, because he's dead, and you can complete that level a bit quicker and get more score, but that's a little bit more advanced than what we're doing on a quick playthrough here, which is, apart from a quick couple of checks, this is the longest I've played the game since probably early 90s. Probably played this in the 90s, but much so more in the 80s. See, we moved house, not very far, but we moved before I went to senior school, which would have been back in 1988, so that'll give you some idea of my age. And it was kind of a watershed for a number of reasons, you know, changing house, changing school, but also I recall very soon after I upgraded, because the Atari had pretty much been mainly myself using it, it had become my machine. Oh, here we go, Devil Boss level. So we upgraded, or I upgraded to an Atari ST, and I had that through from probably when I was about 11 through to most of my teens. And I think I did get rid of it in my late teens, early 20s. I sold that ST to, well, as I say, a family friend, and they wanted to use it for music. I was going to university. I had a PC, I think, by that point, which would have been something like a 486 SX. I think I had an SX25. Later, I had a DX60, and then eventually a Pentium. The first year or two of uni. But yeah, the ST wasn't getting as much use, and that's right. I didn't sell it. I swapped it with him for a SNES. Super Nintendo Entertainment System. At the time, that felt like the right thing to do. I had a lot of fun with the SNES, but in hindsight, I wish I hadn't. But I have actually bought a PC since. Sorry, I have actually bought another ST within the last couple of years. So maybe in a later video, I will do some content and show you that, and far less on the upgrade front than I've done on Atari 8-bit computers recently. I have at the very least set up so that I can you know, play downloaded games, because I don't have any of my original ST floppies anymore. So I have a USB solution for the ST to emulate floppies. Might think about a solution to emulate a hard drive in the future, but I've been focusing more on 8-bit computing in terms of my retro hobby, for want of a better word. So yeah, we're getting close to the top of the pyramid here. Ah, spider level. So this is no orcs with ladders, just spiders and orcs. So they're quite difficult to actually get. There's a bit of timing going on here. See? It's hard. Oh, no, no, no. That's 0 lives. Oh, I'm in trouble. This is it, isn't it? I can't get these spiders for anything. Oh, this one. Ah, he was at the top. I was undefended by a turret. Off with his head. Okay. So that's not too bad for a quick playthrough, just to give people the feel of the game. 12,118 on the score. So comment if you want me to come back and see if I can do a little better than that. You've seen some of the main boss levels. I can't actually recall any of the others. We had the wizard, we had the devils. Those levels can go on for longer. I think we only had a couple of devils, and the spider levels, which I'd completely forgotten about and took me totally by surprise and killed me. Yeah, not sure if there's any others. That's Orc Attack. 1983 by Thorn EMI. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more retro computing content focused around the Atari 8-bit computers, please like this video if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe to my channel, TJ Games. Thank you.